welcome to this episode of Ask a Hypnotherapist. My name is Tanya Creasser. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and spiritual teacher. And this is my colleague, Jazmin, my co-hostess with the mostest. So
Hi, everyone.
today,
I'm Jazmin
Sorry.
Calderon-Marquez, and I'm also a certified hypnotherapist.
And today we're going to do our questions because we do get these a lot. Just different mythical questions about hypnosis, what it's really about, does it work, and can everyone be hypnotized was another question that we get heavily. And also, just does it work? I think is a really good question. What other questions have you encountered about?
So it's always funny, like when I tell someone I'm a hypnotherapist, right? And I do hypnosis, I get several reactions. So the first one is, don't look me in the eye, right? So I get that one. Then I get the really defensive one of where they like jut their body up and be like, you can hypnotize me. I'm unhypnotizable. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't even want to try.
I love that one too. In the mind control.
Mind
I think
control.
that's why the people hide
Yes.
their eyes, because they think that we can control the mind too.
Yeah. Then they do the sign of the cross and they're like, oh, you can't mind control me. The power of Jesus, I rebuke you. And I'm like, yo, okay, we have a lot of education to do.
Yes.
So the first one, don't look in my eyes.
Yes.
That's a myth because, my gosh, what's hypnosis have to do? I mean, yes, there are hypnosis techniques that you can do that uses eye focus or like the way that your eyes move. Like, so you have the classic of the like the moving watch, right? And it goes back, back and forth, back and forth. Actually, that technique does work, but it works best with children.
And the other thing, that reason why it works too, and so myth is not busted, myth is true. So in this is fact. With eye fascination, when you watch the watch or a flame burning in a candle or a fireplace, and it's the same reason why when you're watching a movie you get hypnotized as well. So the biggest part of that is because when you put your eyes up, your body thinks you're going to sleep, because that's how your brain works. When you put your eyes up over your head, or when you focus on something a long time, your brain's like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. So it starts going into that theta wave.
Changing the brain waves, right? What people are going like, oh, don't look me in the eyes. They're having this big misconception that we're mind controlling them with our own eyes or our own ability, supernatural ability to be like, woo, you're my puppet. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, because we can't control anybody.
No, we can't control anybody's mind nor their happiness. So that's another bonus tip. You can't make anybody happy. It's a personal choice.
That's right.
So when it comes to looking somebody in the eyes and controlling their mind, if I had that ability, I wouldn't walk around telling everybody I could do it.
Heck yeah. You know how many free ice creams I could have got by now? How many free movie popcorns?
But no, it only works when we're trying to steal hearts.
That's a different type of eye fascination.
Exactly. But no, that does not work. And but eye fascination is a thing, because, and only it's a scientific fact, only because when you focused on something with your eyes and you move them around and you move them up and down, it does cause your brain to think that it's about to go to sleep.
They do it also in EMDR, in the rapid eye movement type of therapy, where they have the bar of light and it goes dun, 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 and you're following it while using visualization or imagination techniques in order to be able to talk about some of your trauma in the past. So there is legit science behind it, but yeah,
and that comes to my next myth. Yeah. Does hypnosis work, Jazmin?
Yes. Yes, there are several scientific studies out there that proves that the hypnotic trance state is legit. It's real and it's a positive, it can be used for a very positive benefit for everyone. You were telling me
So,
one earlier.
yep. So there is actual scientific data. They show brains under MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, that the patients were under hypnosis, and they show the actual changes in the brain function. And it does help to release a lot of things, and it does alter your behaviors. So when you are doing hypnosis for anxiety, depression, or whatever you would like to do your hypnosis for, it does change your brain. It helps clear out a lot of things. It helps your anxiety. It does calm your nervous system. So hypnosis does work. It is scientifically proven.
Yep. And what about bruh, you can't hypnotize me. I'm unhypnotizable.
And that's also big myth busted. Everybody, everybody, if you sleep and wake up, you are able to be hypnotized because your body does it naturally.
Yep.
So,
I like to tell my clients also the examples of using your imagination, daydreaming and zoning out while you're driving a car, and you went
yeah,
5 minutes and you're like, oh my God, how did I not crash? How did I get here? Right? Those
yeah,
are all
and
light trance states.
yeah, we blank out. The reason why we have road hypnosis is too, you're just kind of watching everything go by in your peripheral,
Peripheral.
that one. You're watching everything fly by you, and your eyes are kind of in focus, out of focus. There's lines on the road, and you're having the motion of the car, the music, all of that sets the tone for a good daydream.
A good
And
daydream session.
yeah,
And you know what's the commonality between all those things, right? You're safe.
yeah,
You're safe when you're in those states, the same way that you're safe when you're going into hypnosis in a hypnotherapy session.
yep,
The only like a big difference though is you go into those states naturally. In hypnotherapy, we're doing it on purpose. We're getting into
yeah.
that relaxed and focused state of mind with purpose.
And that's another thing too, when it goes back to the thing about mind control and mind programming, you cannot be hypnotized against your will. Like, you
Correct.
can't. You don't want to be hypnotized if you are mentally alert and awake, and you're like, nope, I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm not going to do this. You won't.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't. If your body does it naturally because it goes to sleep. And if you want to do it, and if you're accepting of it, just like with any environment, if you acclimate yourself to that environment, you will get comfortable. But if it's something that you don't want to do, it won't happen. That being said, though, is there mind programming? Yes, it's all on your TV and social media and everything else, because yes, there are programs that can be put into your mind. And it really goes with belief. It's what you believe in, and if it's something that you're naturally attracted to, if you're watching a movie and it's a really good story, you get into it. You get to where you're comfortable and you feel safe. Again, she's absolutely right. When you feel safe, the moment you feel like you want to just kind of surrender to it, you will go into hypnosis. That being said, myth 3, deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
Are you actually asleep, Jazmin, during hypnosis?
No, because if you're really asleep, you'd be snoring. You'd be snoring. And you know what? It's happened a couple times with some of my clients where they went too deep and they went all the way down. And we had to wake them up and bring them back up to a more normal level so that way they could be relaxed but focused.
Yes. And that's the other thing too. When you're asleep, because people are like, well, if I'm just going to go to sleep anyways, I'm just going to listen to my book on tape in French and wake up and speak French. That does work, but only for the first 5 minutes of that tape. Because once you're snoring, nothing can get in. So,
when you're in that trance state, that is the best time to fill yourself with positive intentions, whatever those goals are. That's why those tapes work, right? When you hear the recordings, because now your mind has all night to process those last out loud verbal thoughts, right? That verbal command that was given to you. That's the best time. And also right as you wake up. Those 5 minutes, fill yourself with some positivity.
That's the perfect time to do your affirmations in the morning because you are feeling light, you are feeling fresh, you're about to start your day, and you want to start your day on a good foot, just like you want to end your day on a good foot.
Yeah.
Wayne Dyer has this pre before you sleep meditation and he talks about it. You know, it's where we kind of have to have set that nice tone with your sleep hygiene. And that's why it's really important also to work on your sleep hygiene, is because when you're going to sleep, you're going to marinate your brain in the thoughts you had before passing out. So if you think about how shitty your day was, and that, you know, Susan and Karen, you know, were shitty at work, and you're thinking about all the things that either didn't get done, any complaints that you had. And if you're thinking about that right before you go to sleep, you're going to wake up like that too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fact. And because your brain wakes up with it and it's fresh on your mind. And if you once about in a shitty mood, you might wake up in a shitty mood and carry that with you if that's the first negative thing you think about. So it is so important to be kind. Turn off that TV a little earlier. Say some nice things to yourself. Go over the things that you were grateful for in your day. Because when you count your blessings, especially at night, your brain resets and it's ready for more good stuff in the morning. And then when you start that day with, today is an amazing day. You know, today I am happy. And you start that off with your day, you will carry that with you through the day. So
it does. It makes a huge difference. So I'm going to tell you a success story and a fail story of Jazmin.
Love it. Yes.
So we'll start with the fail and we'll end with the positive. So the fail one was just the other night, right, guys? We have to listen to our own advice, but there are moments where you kind of slide back and you're like, oh, I should have done better, right? But I went to sleep with a lot of anxiety of this job interview that I'm getting just next week, and I'm really, really excited for. But I had a lot of anxiety. Well, guess what? I dreamt about the anxiety, and then I woke up with anxiety.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, this was a horrible way to wake up.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, we're people too, and that's the other reason where I have to watch baking shows or gardening shows or home improvement shows, because if I go from like straight up, you know, Law and Order SVU to knockout, like it's just not good. So you really, really want to work on filling your brain with positive things and emotions, and what you read. Don't, you know, there's a reason that very successful people have really impeccable sleep hygiene. And you go to bed early and you shut the screens off, you turn the news off. Do not watch the nighttime news. If you can avoid,
don't watch the nighttime news. No.
Any news.
Go to bed.
Yeah, just go to bed, grateful for your day, feeling good, smelling good, looking good. You need to take a bath in the evening with some lavender, you know, bubbles and stuff. That will help. Anything you can do to make yourself feel more cozy at night and in the morning will go a long way. But that is not a myth. You can get deep sleep from hypnosis, and you just, when you're sleeping, the information doesn't go in. So another myth that we get.
Positive story. I have to share my success story. So I used to have, it's gotten way better, but some body issues where I didn't always love my body. So one day I was determined. I was like, no, we're going to fix this. We're going to like love you. So I was in the shower and I literally went from my toes to my head and I talked to each part of my body and I told it I loved you. Like, I love you, toes. I love you, feet, right? Like, I love you, ankles, right? And I did every part. And then when I did my routine, I went laid in bed, and then I was like, I love you, body. And I went to bed and I woke up really loving my body.
Oh, I love that. That is
'Cause
really amazing.
it was really
And
cool.
yeah, so it's good to go to bed on a positive note because yes, hypnosis is real and it does affect your sleep. And that's why if you have a mind full of stuff before you go to bed, you're gonna wake up like that too. And that's an unfortunate thing. But that's where hypnosis is really, really amazing because we can help with those things.
Mhm.
We can help that thought pattern before you go to bed and how to really activate those good things about your brain when you're asleep. So, and speaking of the brain, we also get the question of, let's see, we got mind control, looking in the eyes.
Oh,
What was, oh,
spirituality, right?
the spirituality one. That's a difficult
So
one.
there is a huge misconception that all hypnotherapists um are also like it's only about spirituality, it's only about getting you to that altered state. A lot of people think that for whatever reason we do like devil worship. I don't know. uh we definitely get the stigma about us, like we're doing something evil and ethereal, which is really strange because when we went to our hypnotherapy college, you had everyone under the sun attending these classes. So on one end of the spectrum, you did have very spiritual people who are into Reiki, past life regression. I love past life regression. There are more spiritual people. But then on the very opposite end of the spectrum, we had the therapists, the psychologists, the lawyers, the realtors, right? Hypnotherapy in itself as a concept has nothing to do with spirituality or religion. But each one of us as hypnotherapists niche in different areas. So for example, there is a person from our college who deals with, oh, how did he put it? Religious trauma. He deals with religious trauma. And then there are others who love to niche in past life regression. I love past life regression, but I'm also very respectful of my individual clients' beliefs about past life regression. So no, we're not out there mind controlling and doing weird, evil voodoo on you, which by the way, that's a whole nother subject, but voodoo is not evil. But we're not doing evil things out there. We're not getting people into these weird states to
Yeah.
open themselves up to demons.
And that's where there's a difference between, like, yes, of course, you can spiritualize anything, and you can also make anything clinical,
Yeah.
and the reason, and I think it's just really odd because the reason that people have those fears and everything is because of the programming they believe in to begin with.
Correct. I mean, your business is called,
Yeah.
oh, your business, say your business
Oh,
name.
Shine Spirituality.
Shine
So,
spirituality. Tanya does a lot of things with hypnosis in spirituality.
mainly trauma release. I like to work with people's spiritual side because to me, spirituality, it's not even a religious thing and it's not even a spiritual thing. To me, spirituality is the joy of your soul, how you're feeling on the inside, your spirit, your drive, what makes you you, your personality, your character, the way you influence and love, the way you love yourself. To me, that's spiritual. It's not all woo woo. To me, spirituality is your life force, you
Yes.
know, and it's not about where you go when you get here and when you leave this planet. It's more about how you're living. How is your life? It's a life force thing to me. And yeah, I say shine spirituality because it's you want to shine. You want to be bright. You want that soul light of yours to just be happy and you know I guess you could say in communion with God in a way, whatever you believe in, whatever your higher power is. It's kind of more of it's what you believe in. And if you believe in yourself and how you see yourself is your spirituality. So
the power of
if,
belief, right? If you believe that
Mhm.
you're opening yourself up to evil forces, then you are. And that has nothing to do with hypnotherapy. That's about you and your belief as an individual. If you
Yeah.
believe that you're protected no matter what, because you're in a safe place, because you go through hypnosis every single day anyway, because it's a natural state of mind,
Yeah.
it'd be fine. Because we
Yeah.
can bring the horse to water, we can't make him drink, right? We
No. And that's the thing too, like, even with me where I do work a lot with energy healing and I do work a lot with, I'm mastering Reiki right now, but it's more of a to me it's just more of a peaceful thing. It's not about religion and everything, and I do respect people's beliefs because I lived like that for most of my life. I lived in a Christian faith. And even if you are spiritual and you're not necessarily religious, you can still believe in a lot of things that everybody else believes in. But I think that ultimately, how we live our life shows a lot of people of who we are and our characters and our beings. And so, yeah. So that being said, I have good intentions. People who go to hypnosis and hypnotherapy and who's already asking about this, you're already kind of awakened a little bit to different alternatives of healing. And I think that when it comes to a thing for healing, it's important to look within, you know, and that's where you're going to find most of your healing. No. What other myths have you gotten?
those were kind of like, I mean, those are the ones I get a lot. And I always say, like when I'm talking to people, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't control you even if I wanted to. Plus, why would I make you want to cluck like a chicken? I got chickens at home. But for anyone who doesn't know, I have a little homestead and I got lots of chickens.
And
Uh,
you got some baby goats too. They're so
yes,
cute.
we have baby goats now. They're so cute. So their mom's name is Mrs. Buttersworth, and then their names are Waffles and Pancakes.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah,
And that's the thing,
they're
you
super.
know, we're I think that we're more in if anything, hypnotherapy, it's really used for healing, self-healing. Because that's the other thing. The other myth that I can remember right now is that people think that we heal people, which I wish we could.
Yes.
But quite honestly, you do all the work yourself.
Yeah, we're here
So,
just as guides to get you into that state of mind, but you're doing all the work.
yeah.
You just need a little
And
guidance, and we're here for that.
yep. And your brain isn't gonna really accept anything from anybody else
Nope.
unless you want to be open to something else, like some other understanding. But we can't tell you that, the sky is red and the ocean's pink unless, you're like, yeah, you know what, it just might be. So we can't make you think anything that you don't want to think.
Yeah.
And your brain has its own source of protection, so we can't program you to do something you don't want to do. So it would be nice, but yeah, it's a self-belief that we work with.
Yep.
So
That's a big one, guys. So focus on that. And we're really
yeah.
glad that you guys came to tune in today to ask a hypnotherapist. And
Yes.
hopefully, by giving this knowledge to people, we're going to be able to reach more people and dispel more myths. Because, yeah, when the only way to defeat fear is to have more information. And so, if you're listening in today, you'll be able to book your next hypnotherapist session with a hypnotherapist of your choice.
Hmm.
And be able to go in there much more calmer and peaceful and excited instead of with fear.
Yes, because we're here to help. We're here to guide. We're here to facilitate your change that you want to make. But
Hey.
we can't help you if you don't want to help you.
Yeah. Very true.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.